Professional wrestling destroyed sports entertainment.
As John Cena's final match arrived, Gunther was met with heavy boos during his entrance, though the reaction paled in comparison to the response John Cena received. The emotion was evident. Cena took a moment to absorb the atmosphere, clearly moved by the occasion, yet composed as he prepared for the final match of his career. Once the bell rang, Cena delivered exactly what fans hoped for. He looked sharp, hit all of his signature offense, and, just as importantly, did everything possible to elevate Gunther. Their chemistry was strong throughout, and despite the weight of the moment, the two put together a physical and engaging bout worthy of the spotlight. Cena connected with multiple attitude adjustments over the course of the match, including one on the announcer's desk and another from the top turnbuckle. During one of those moments, Michael Cole briefly referred to the move as the FU before Wade Barrett immediately corrected him, calling it the AA, or attitude adjustment. As the match reached its final moments, Gunther locked in the sleeper hold. Before the inevitable happened, Cena took one last look around the arena and offered a small smile to the crowd, then tapped out. Michael Cole's closing call underscored the magnitude of the moment. He called, "Tonight, professional wrestling destroyed sports entertainment." Nostalgia was unavoidable, but there was no denying the significance of what unfolded. Cena went out on his own terms, something many wrestlers never get the opportunity to do. It was a deliberate and fitting conclusion to a legendary career. The finish, however, sparked immediate backlash. As the bell rang, sections of the crowd erupted into chants of bullshit, expressing their frustration with Cena tapping out in his final match. After regaining consciousness following the sleeper hold, Cena appeared visibly emotional, adrenaline still coursing as he removed his armbands and shoes and left them in the ring, a symbolic gesture signaling the end of his in-ring career. Moments later, the WWE locker room emptied onto the stage. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, the company's two world champions, were the first to greet Cena. In a powerful show of respect, they placed both world championships over his shoulders, allowing Cena to pose with them one final time. The crowd's hostility continued. Fans directed chants of "you f***ed up" towards Triple H, forcing WWE to censor portions of the broadcast due to the family-friendly nature of the product. Daring General made headlines by doing exactly what he promised, forcing the greatest of all time to tap out in his final match and securing the biggest victory of his career. Throughout the bout, Gunther was met with relentless hostility, with fans directing explicit chants toward him whenever he took control, underscoring just how emotionally charged the atmosphere had become. His post-match smile only reinforced his status as one of the most effective villains in professional wrestling today. Immediately following the match, WRKD Wrestling posted a tweet claiming it will not be Braun Breaker, but Gunther who will retire Brock Lesnar next. The report drew attention after the outlet previously was the first to report that Gunther would be the one to retire Cena. Cena's impact was felt beyond the ring as well. To commemorate his in-ring retirement, Google paid a subtle tribute on its homepage. Searching Cena's name triggers a small hand icon at the bottom of the screen. Clicking it brings up a hand performing Cena's iconic "you can't see me" gesture. It was a fitting and understated acknowledgement for one of the most influential figures professional wrestling has ever produced, proof that John Cena's legacy extends far beyond the squared circle. Do you agree with how WWE booked Cena's final match? Should the greatest of all time have won on his way out, or did Gunther winning make the most sense for the future? And what is your favorite John Cena moment of all time? Please share your comments below, and once again, thank you, Cena. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. Moving on, Joe Tessitore and Stephanie McMahon opened the show from the broadcast table, briefly reflecting on John Cena's legacy before Cody Rhodes made his entrance for the night's opening match against Femi. With neither man's championship on the line, the bout was framed as a contest of pride. Still, the stakes felt higher for Femi. As the rising newcomer, a win over the undisputed WWE champion would have been a massive statement, while Rhodes entered with far less to prove. Despite Rhodes' clear experience advantage, it was Femi who controlled much of the action. His size and power consistently put the WWE champion on the defensive, leaving Rhodes reeling for extended stretches of the match. One of the standout moments came late when Femi connected with a running uppercut that sent Rhodes crashing over the announce table. The impact was impressive, though it appeared Rhodes suffered some bleeding from his ear in the aftermath. Just as the match was reaching its climax, Drew McIntyre emerged and attacked Rhodes, triggering a disqualification. Femi immediately squared up to the Scottish psychopath and shoved him off his feet, refusing to be overshadowed. McIntyre then ate a Cody cutter, followed by a chokeslam from Femi, as the two briefly joined forces to neutralize the threat. While the in-ring action was strong throughout, the finish was a disappointing conclusion to what was easily the biggest opportunity of Femi's career so far. Instead of a definitive result, the segment ended with Rhodes and Femi standing tall together, posing in the ring as the show moved on. The performance solidified Femi as a credible force, but the abrupt ending left the sense that an even bigger moment was just out of reach. How would you rate Oba Femi's performance? Do you see him as the next Batista, as many fans are already calling him? Sound off in the comments below. The next match of the night saw World Tag Team Champions AJ Styles and Dragon Lee take on NXT's Javon Evans and TNA's Leon Slater. For Slater, the moment carried extra significance as his first main roster appearance came opposite a former TNA World Champion in Styles. All four competitors are known for their athletic, high-flying styles, though AJ Styles has noticeably scaled back his riskier spots in recent years to extend his career. That shift was evident here as the three younger talents were given ample room to impress, while Styles often took a supporting role to let the action breathe. Several moments stood out in particular. Dragon Lee's signature roll-through into a powerbomb once again drew attention for its smooth execution. Later, Lee launched Slater directly into Styles' waiting arms at ringside for what looked like a Styles clash, only for Evans to dive in and break it up at the last second, one of the match's most visually striking spots. There was an unfortunate moment late when Styles appeared to slip while attempting his trademark springboard forearm. It was unclear whether the misstep factored into the timing of the finish, but shortly afterward, Styles and Lee won the match, bringing the contest to an abrupt conclusion. Despite the slightly strange ending, this bout featured some of the night's most memorable action. Slater in particular came out looking like a standout, further fueling the sense that WWE will be eager to make a serious play for him once his TNA contract expires. Ahead of John Cena's final match, The Miz made his presence felt in familiar fashion, arriving first and attempting to turn the moment into one centered around himself. The interruption didn't last long. R-Truth soon followed and quickly set the record straight, revealing that it was Hendry whose spot The Miz had taken in the tournament. The mention of Hendry's name brought an immediate response as Hendry appeared on cue and took The Miz down, cutting off the grandstanding before it could go any further. With The Miz laid out, Hendry and Truth shared a lighthearted moment, teaming up to deliver a synchronized five-knuckle shuffle, drawing a strong reaction from the crowd and adding a touch of levity before the night's historic main event. All signs point to one question: could Hendry be the next in line to face The Miz? Amid the in-ring moments, there was also a subtle but meaningful nod on commentary. Michael Cole took time to acknowledge several of his longtime broadcast partners, Taz, JBL, Jim Ross, and Jerry the King Lawler, crediting them for their roles in calling some of the greatest matches of John Cena's career. It was a respectful acknowledgement that underscored the significance of the occasion and the legacy surrounding Cena's final night in the ring. The next match featured Bayley, accompanied by Lyra Valkyria, going one-on-one with Ruca, who had Zarya in her corner following their reconciliation earlier in the week. Compared to the Femi vs. Rhodes match, this contest moved at a much faster clip, allowing both competitors to pack more action into their time. Ruca in particular looked impressive against the veteran Bayley, pulling out nearly everything in her arsenal and showing confidence well beyond her experience level. Several of Ruca's sequences stood out. A handstand into a head scissors takedown earned a strong reaction from the crowd. Moments later, she wowed again with a handspring into a moonsault over the top rope, followed by a cartwheel from the top rope straight into a DDT, each move executed cleanly and with purpose. The finish came after Ruca connected with the Soul Snatcher, scoring the pinfall and securing the biggest victory of her young career. Bayley, visibly pleased, smiled afterward, clearly embracing her role in elevating the next generation. The two posed together in the ring and offered a salute in tribute to John Cena, closing the segment on a respectful note. This was an energetic, well-structured match that highlighted Ruca's athleticism and upside. Bayley proved once again why she's the ideal opponent to help spotlight emerging talent, making this a memorable and effective showcase. That wraps up Saturday night's main event. What was your favorite match of the night? And do you agree with WWE's decision to have Gunther win? Who do you think should be the next opponent for the Ring General? Sound off in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. For all of our subscribers, don't miss the 9 a.m. Eastern video we dropped earlier today. Smash that bell icon and select all notifications so you're always in the loop.